Previously on Are We Dead Yet?
So we are going to start here in Eberron. Specifically, we're going to start out in the city of Sharn. Kilroy, can you describe your character?
So Kilroy is a towering warforged. Towers at about 6'5", and he's big and broad-shouldered. But you wouldn't know that he's a warforged because he keeps his body covered in very nice clothing from head to toe.
And no sooner do you get to the landing of the front door, you hear a loud crash and a cloaked figure jumps from the building above you. Em, can you describe your character really quick?
Yeah, so M's probably really cloaked up because they're used to obviously being underground. So they kind of have like a cloak over their face.
Behind the desk is a tall hobgoblin male, pretty broad in his build, adorned in what looks like a fancy mage's robe. And he goes, yes, more have arrived. And he beckons to the corner, which you guys now observe a half-elf male hanging out in a small chair there. Can you describe yourself?
All right, Silas is a 5'10", and he appears to be very, very old. He's thin and gaunt, just like a leather bag over bones, pretty much.
For those of you unaware, my name is Vasaad. Your first mission is going to be fairly simple. You're going to take a couple of these wonderful looking bracelets I have laid out, and you're going to put them on for me. You will notice that there are 2 bracelets left here. They are for the last 2 of our compatriots. Your first job for me is quite simple. You're going to go retrieve them and convince them to join. Good muscle is hard to find. I believe I'm sending you to the best place to locate it. Surely you all have heard of the Dreadhold prison.
Yeah, an inescapable hellhole, if I recall correctly.
For worst of the worst, or anyone you don't want to get out. And it just so happens there are 2 individuals who have recently come into custody there that I think would be an excellent asset. Wonderful skill sets. The negotiations are simple. They work for me. They can have freedom, or they can rot. Once you've retrieved them, feel free to bring them back here, and we'll discuss further terms. You can either take the train, which would be 2 days worth of travel, or you can take the airship, but both are fairly expensive.
How do you feel about sneaking onto an airship?
So where are you going to hide on the ship?
In the cargo area?
And you guys hang out for a few before everything is done loading, and you can feel the ship getting ready for takeoff. Awesome. So you guys have barely exited the ship before you start to take in the surroundings. It is indeed nighttime, but the city is lit up, just torches everywhere. It's got quite the nightlife. People, partying, yelling. You can see almost every building lit up with some kind of activity. You make out your target. The Dreadhold prison is a giant dome out in the sea, and the only thing that connects it to land is a special one-way small bridge that goes all the way out to it. The doors are slowly pushed open, just wide enough for several guards to walk out. He finally looks up at you, Silas, and he goes, "You're going to wait here."
Silas is going to shout after him, "In the rain, you boar."
The last war of Eberron is over. The world is divided and torn. 5 people now come together to further their own ends. These are dark times. These are the evils of Eberron.
They begin to make their way through the Dreadhold to the very bottom of the prison, where they keep some of the more deranged people or people that powerful individuals do not want to see the light of day. At the very base are 2 cells that have been filled for about the last week. Eurydice, will you describe yourself first?
Yeah, do I have my equipment with me?
You have nothing.
Okay, cool. So you see a naked-ass black dragonborn towering at like 6'9". He has a large, almost tribal tattoo of Tiamat on his left arm, and he is just very imposing looking. He's currently sitting cross-legged in the center of his cell, meditating.
Awesome. And in the cell right beside you, Karen, can you describe yourself?
Karen is a tiefling, but he has almost no physical features that would distinguish a normal tiefling. He has no horns, he has no tail. The only qualifying markers are that he has bleach white skin and his eyes are like solid red with like vague showing of iris that is also like a different shade of
So
red.
it's like an albino snowflake.
That's what I was going to say is, oh, you're albino.
Yeah, pretty much. And he has he has no hair on his head, save for a black goatee, which is starting to grow more into a beard now that he hasn't been able to like groom himself.
Cool.
It's like you want to be a tiefling, but you're not. You want the tiefling features. Powerful shit.
What are you currently doing?
I am currently pacing.
You guys are residing at the bottom of this prison by yourselves in these cells next to each other. Just earlier this week, both of you were attempting to enter the city of Sharn. Karen, upon entering, you came upon a group of fresh adventurers, and you saw a holy warrior, paladin amongst them, and you could not help yourself. Perfect souls to send to the realm of Zariel, and you instigated a fight on your own. It was just after you had slain the rogue of the group that Eurydice also came upon the fight, and for Eurydice's own reasons decided to help you slay all of these individuals. At the very end of it all, there was a giant pool of blood, several dead bodies. The only escapee was a small gnome girl who disappeared sometime early after you killed the first member of their group. After entering town, you were greeted by a small army of guards who immediately fought you, wrangled you, disarmed you, and sent you straight to the Dreadhold, where you have not heard from anyone or anything except to have rations thrown at you once a day. It is about now that you hear thundering echoes, essentially, as the familiar sound of that small army comes marching down to the bottom of the prison here, and they start to fill in the hallway where you two reside, standing in front of your gate, and the captain comes up with a set of keys, glaring at both of you in turn.
I could smell you coming, Captain.
Funny. I could smell you all the way from the top of this here prison.
Your stink infests these halls, the cowardice, as you hide behind your men.
Big man, hiding behind a set of bars.
How many did I kill in your attempt to arrest me?
Too many. All of them better men than you.
The test of metal showed they failed.
Sadly, their souls do not dwell within the river of Styx, for that is where they belong.
I could happily end both of you right now. Walk away with a smile on my face.
I dare you.
More lucky for you. You've got powerful friends.
Yes, Tiamat smiles upon me. I assume you've decided to finally stop standing between me and my holy mission.
If I had it my way, you'd be resting at the bottom of this here ocean.
Yes, sadly, you don't decide the fates of men. That's the gods' job.
Several guards hold large sets of handcuffs through the gates for both of you to put on before they release you.
Like these would be able to contain my rage.
I go ahead and I stick my hands into the bars to let them.
So they cuff you, and then each of you is held by 5 different guards as they escort you slowly to the very top of the prison. It's a long walk, and swords are drawn, held to you the entire time. You are greeted by the entrance of the prison as they open up the doors, and you see this small group of people awaiting for you in the rain outside, probably looking annoyed.
One of them definitely is.
And yeah, you guys, Kilroy, Silas, are greeted by the sight of these 2 hulking individuals being escorted out by what you can only assume is, like, again, a small army and possibly half the guard population in here.
Playing into our connection here, Death, as soon as Kilroy sees you, you see his eyes go from yellow to red. Because you were hired. Because when I was a gnome, you beat me up.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't know that.
No, I wouldn't. But going off of the eyes there, would I know that he's a Warforged and he was having some kind of emotional reaction to me? I can roll an insight here if you want.
Sure, go for it.
Would you
that's fine.
say you know about Warforged or know a lot about Warforged?
I would say I've probably met 1 or 2 in my travels at this point. 1d20. I got a 13 on insight.
Kilroy, are you attempting to conceal that emotion at all, or
I mean, it's like a
it just kind of slipped?
involuntary reaction. Yeah.
Perfect.
So
I would-
totally. Yeah.
Whether you know he's a Warforged or not, you noticed the reaction to your presence specifically.
Okay. And what's like sort of a distinguishing feature that separates you from the other three, or the other two? Sorry, you're the largest one, right?
Oh, he's like completely wrapped up and concealed.
And I'm completely clothed. Yeah. Not a inch of skin is showing.
Concealed one, you fear me.
Fear is a strong word.
It is.
Just met you, friend. Just met your friend.
I can tell
You're
you're
just a
nervous. I can smell it.
You're a big boy. Oh boy, this is gonna be fun.
Do not fear. If I have no reason to harm you, and I'm going to kind of look around at the guards and the captain, I will do no such thing.
All right, sure. Silas, my friend, do you want to explain to these fine gentlemen the terms of service?
Silas will step forward and say, "Greetings, gentlemen. We have been sent to retrieve you on behalf
Name
of
yourself.
our benefactor, Silas Winthorpington, the 23rd.
I have no qualms with you.
And I you, good sir. But on account of our contract, we will be asking you to equip these fancy silver bracelets."
Oh yes, the binding of one's contract. I've made a few in my time.
Aye. We unfortunately will not be removing you from this place unless you place the bracelets upon yourselves.
Are you saying someone has arranged for my freedom and I owe them a debt?
That is the gist of it that I got.
Are my hands free, David?
No.
Okay. I accept.
And you, good sir? You look to Sharon.
Karin.
Karen, sorry.
He sits there pondering. I see no other choice. But if this is but the will of Zariel, for me to continue forward, I accept.
Silas will give a polite clap and say, "Jeeves." Jeeves will step forward and place the bracelets upon whichever wrist you guys prefer.
Doesn't really matter.
Right.
Ooh, a rebel.
Yeah, similar effect that happened to these guys. When you throw on the bracelets, they adjust to the size of your wrist. Laughably, the bracelets, even adjusting to you guys, are quite larger than on your counterparts here. Right. Let's be done with them then. And in unison, all of the guards just kind of huddle around you, undo the shackles, and shove you out of the doorway. All of your gear is unceremoniously tossed behind you.
So, going off of the design that my sword is the Dragon Greatsword,
Mm-hmm.
it's just a giant 25-pound hunk of rock.
Mm-hmm.
We kept this in storage for you.
So I'd like to see how many guards it takes.
Oh, it's several men, literally just hauling it like a battering ram. But yeah, and they just throw it at you, kind of aiming for you. It's what it looks like. But yeah, and the guards all just move back in, begin closing the gates, and the captain stares dead center from it, watching your group as the doors close around him, and he leaves you guys in the rain.
As he turns to go, or as the door closes, I maintain eye contact, and I'm like, "Your soul will be of use soon."
Well, now that we are all acquainted, let's get out of the rain and far away from this fucking place.
Yeah, I mean, that went better than expected.
Yeah, I didn't even have to go back in. I mean, go in. Oh yeah, this place.
I'm gonna take the time to don my armor and get my gear all organized.
Same. I mean, just my actual clothes, not whatever mankini or whatever fantasy underpants I had.
A mankini, that's what you think you were. Okay.
Okay. Well, what do you guys do?
I organize my gear and do the whole kind of berserk guts stance with the sword over my shoulder like it's nothing, because this is fantasy. Just so what are, now that I have blindedly accepted this contract, what are its terms?
We're not quite sure ourselves. We are now off to meet our benefactor so he can explain the whole thing to us.
And who would our benefactor be?
Let's see, where is his name?
Vasaad.
Vasaad.
David, do I know of Vasaad?
No, you hadn't even made your way into Sharn before
Perfect.
you were arrested. So, and you said you grew up in Seer, right?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah. So your knowledge of Sharn is pretty basic. You don't know a lot about its inner workings or its crime hierarchy.
Got it. I am unfamiliar with this person.
Yeah, he's some big shot over in Sharn. We actually got to get back onto that airship somehow. This is gonna be interesting.
Airship?
Yeah,
How far are we traveling?
quite a bit of a ways.
About a day's travel.
Do you have gold to purchase tickets for the airship?
No.
We used it on the way here, my boy.
And you don't have money for a return trip planned?
No.
We were not furnished with such, unfortunately.
I can see I'm working with people who are completely incompetent. I do not look forward to this anymore.
And you're saying you don't have any money either.
Well, you just got me out of prison. I don't really have a plan here.
Exactly.
We will have much fun finding a different way. I believe we could simply accommodate ourselves to our wishes through sheer force of will.
Brute force is a good tool to use. How much money are airship tickets?
That's a good question. David, did we see a sign or any indication as to the price?
Well, we have no money, so I guess we never thought about it.
100 gold a person.
Holy shit, that's an expensive ride.
It's a straight ride halfway across the country in a day.
That's true.
100 gold, you say?
Yeah, 100 gold
You
apiece.
could turn that in a day with a couple contracts.
So you're telling me that we should sit here and wait for you to do some contracts, but we could just sneak into the airship?
Look at me. I'm not subtle.
Yes, it is one that we do stand out quite a bit in the crowd, do we not?
Though between
By the way,
Charon and I's muscle, we could probably take an airship.
I was actually about to say, I don't think either of us have, or none of us have really introduced ourselves.
You and I are already introduced, sort of. I don't think we exchanged names, but we exchanged this
is
like
true.
unwritten friendship as we killed these people together.
Hey, you guys are battle brothers.
Battle bros. Battle bros.
Oh, that sounds so gross. Hey,
It's
you're
not
my
gross.
battle bro,
It's battle bros.
Yeah.
Hey, everyone needs a battle buddy, okay?
Oh god.
Yes, well, before we get too far ahead of ourselves, I do believe introductions are in order. I am Kilroy Jenkins. Yeah, that's all. Just me.
And I'm going to walk over to you and shake your hand. I am Eurydice. Your name rings familiar. Have we met before?
I don't believe so. I have never been on this side of the continent before.
And he's going to like kind of
Never.
turn his head sideways as he stares directly at you and says, "You're right. I would remember someone as imposing as you."
That's right. Yeah. Nope. Old Kilroy. That's all you need to know.
And Eurydice is going to turn to M and extend a hand out for a shake.
Sure, Em will take it.
Your name?
Michael.
How does Silas react to Mary introducing herself as Michael?
I imagine he's used to
Oh, got it.
her naming oddities.
Karin follows behind Eurydice and is, yes, greetings, Mr. Sir Winthropington and Jenkins and Michael.
Actually,
I am
you can call me Meredith.
okay. There.
You should not write this down, Sherman. It's gonna be every time someone introduces themselves type of thing.
Oh, that's part of
Oh.
the fun.
Yep.
So for me, I call you Meredith. For him, he calls you Michael, and for Silas, he calls you Mary. Got it. Well, I have that written down then. My apologies, Meredith.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. First time meeting.
To you all, I am Karen, and I am but an extension of Our Lady Zariel. Someday we will all be part of her armies, but for now, we are friends.
Eurydice chuckles a little bit.
You know, I don't really like being part of armies. You know, I like to stick by myself. Even groups is a little too much. So, you know, I think I might have to decline that army bit right there.
Oh.
But it's lovely to meet you.
By our unwritten contract, you have already agreed. It is not your choice. But it does not matter now.
A lot of contracts going around here.
Yeah.
Well, my dear friends, I do have a way of making money if we'd like to get on that airship first thing in the morning.
I too have a way of making money.
Yeah, one that involves less death and less drawing attention to ourselves.
I was to say, who cares about making when we could simply take?
Because we don't wanna
Everyone's
end up in
make
the
is
jail
someone's
again.
take.
Before we try and take an airship, we should consider, do any of us know how to pilot an airship?
No, no, I can pilot a couple of donkeys pulling a cart, but
Do you have
that is
donkeys
it.
in a cart?
back at Sharn?
Then that
yes,
is absolutely useless information.
but look, you asked. I just look. I'm gonna take this deck of cards I got. I'm gonna walk into that bar over there. I'm gonna find the stupidest person in there, and I'm gonna take all their money. That's what I'm gonna do.
I will come with you. This sounds fun.
I'd love to watch this.
I see a problem with this conclusion in that your stupidest person may not have enough money to cover all of us.
Rule number 1 of gambling, my friend. Always examine your mark carefully. I'll find someone who's both stupid and rich. How do you think I picked out Silas here? Just kidding, Silas.
Nice.
Nice.
Sick burn.
So you're on the hunt?
Yeah, I want to kind of wander around town a bit and maybe find a bar that has some gambling going on.
That is the easiest thing to find. If they're not drinking or dancing, they're gambling. Like I said, almost every building lining the main street, you take your pick.
Yeah, just the first building on the right that
So
I
you
come
guys
to.
like wander into town, you present this idea, and you just, you walk right into the first building there. It's mainly full of, just a bunch of humans, male, female alike, all of them dressed as some kind of sailor. You do pick up on a handful of them with their swords and several tattoos that you're probably in the company of pirates. But yeah, you see several men just lining a table in the back corner, all shouting, drinking, and currently dealing a deck of cards.
Excellent. Before I walk up, I'm going to cast Minor Illusion on the bag of ball bearings that I am carrying.
Okay.
Specifically on the bearings themselves, to make them appear as gold coins.
Okay. How many do you have?
I have a bag of 1,000 ball bearings.
High roller.
Okay.
And as I walk up, I'll just toss the bag on the table and just be like, well, boys, deal me in. I'm feeling hot.
Well then, that's quite a hefty bag of coin there. You sure you're willing to part with it tonight?
Oh, I don't think I'll be parting with anything. There's 1,000 gold pieces in there. You can count them if you want, but I'm ready.
Hold the phone. If you have the access to make up 1,000 gold pieces, we could just jump onto a goddamn airship that way.
Right, except if they count them while we're on the airship
They're gonna find us.
and find out that we cheated them, and then we have to get tossed off the airship. I don't want
What
to
we're
get
doing
tossed
right
off
now
the
is we're
airship.
laundering magical money. So we're turning
I
this
love this.
fake money into real money
I
that we
love
can
this.
use to purchase things.
Yes.
And I
I
love,
love this.
Also, I do have something I'd like to do while Kilroy's doing this, but I don't have to start that now. I can start that whenever we get a good moment to start switching back and forth.
What is that thing?
I'd like to go look for someone extraordinarily shady. Like, I'm looking for, like, the scum of the earth here.
Pertaining to anything specific, or just like
I'm looking
really...
I'm looking to make a quick dollar from someone who's got something dirty to do.
Okay. Give me a moment.
Yeah, go for it.
In the meantime, Kilroy, you are up. They start dealing you a hand, and they gesture for you to pull up a seat.
Perfect. Yeah, I'm ready.
We don't have any money, so I can't buy in myself.
I don't know. I was debating whether or not I should try to pickpocket some people.
I mean, feel
That's a great
free.
idea.
Feel free.
Yeah.
I definitely don't want this whole thing to ride just on me swindling some
I would
folks.
love that. Yeah, I think I'll try pickpocketing some people. I should be careful about it.
Are you pickpocketing the poker players, or are you making your way through the town, the same bar?
I think around the same bar, because people are pretty trashed already, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, around the bar area.
Okay. Roll me your sleight of hand.
14.
Okay. 14.
Yeah.
Roll me a d6.
3.
You pickpocket 30 gold.
Yay! Only
470 to go.
You're going to roll me insight, sleight of hand, deception. Or actually, you can choose the order, whichever ones you want to go to which roll.
Insight, sleight of hand.
Oh shit, maybe I should have joined this game, even though I guess I have 3 gold now, but...
Okay, 15 for insight. Oh no, I'm sorry. A natural 20 for insight. An 8 for sleight of hand. And what was the third one?
Deception.
17 for deception. I'd like to use one of my charges of my coin, my faded coin,
Uh-huh.
to maybe change that outcome of that sleight of hand roll.
What was it? 8?
It was an 8.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, so I got to roll a 1d100, right? Oh shit, 47.
Can you roll me a d6?
Sure. 3.
Pot was 30 gold and you lost.
You lost us 30? Oh god, okay.
How do you want to pay that?
Let me look through my inventory here. You know what? I got in my pouch, I took as a little joke, I took a little piece of onyx, which is worth 50 gold, so I'll just take my bag of ball bearings back before I get too ahead of myself, and I'll just toss the piece of onyx on the table and be like, that should cover it. That should cover it.
Okay. Yeah, they accept your payment. Do you deal for another hand?
Is everyone else just like depending on Kilroy to do this? Because I feel like this might be a little long.
No, I have a plan
John's
as well.
got his own
Do we
thing.
need
yeah.
money to buy in?
Yeah, you have to have money presenting.
Yeah, so we can't even join in on this.
All right, how much? Because I have 30 gold already.
Oh, you might as well.
I mean, if you want to join in, feel
Yeah,
free.
might as well. This might take a little bit otherwise.
Yeah, like I've got some good stats for it, but I don't got any monies.
How much is to buy in though?
We'll say 5 gold buy-in,
Oh.
and then pot rises from there.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to, after losing that hand, I'll look around the table and see people are probably drinking, I assume.
Yes.
I'm just be like, you know what, boys? You were so generous to let me come on in here and disturb your game. And why don't I go to the bar and get us all around? How about that? How would you like that?
Can't say that sounds too bad, Ed.
All right, I'll be right back. How many of there are you? 1, 2, 3.
We're going
what
to
do we
say
got?
6 guys, including you and M.
Perfect.
Cool. We're going to cut for a second to Eurydice, who said you were just looking for someone shady to cut you a quick job,
Yeah, looking
right?
for a quick job. You know, I kind of do this for a living, so I kind of know what a fixer in a bar looks like.
Yeah. So you see these guys sit down to win some gold, and you're not having it. Unreliable.
I'm not a gambling man.
Yeah, you're determined to make do on something actually tangible here. So you set about looking for somebody to set you up with some work. You wander through a few of the taverns, gathering areas, check out some boards. Nothing really up your alley. And as you make your way to the kind of the outer ends of the docks, yeah, you find a hooded figure. He's just kind of posted up, watching some of the passerbys, drinking from his own small flask type thing. And he sees you.
So I'm going to approach him and go, "Today's your lucky day."
He looks you up and down and he goes, "Something tells me this is probably your lucky day."
I need gold. Fast. Willing to kill. You got a job?
I sure do. What's your moral standard like?
How much gold are you paying?
Depends on how much you get. There's a ship. End of the dock here. Small brown one. Said to have a chest locked away in the back. I want it. Don't ask me why. I'm not going to tell you answer any of your questions, but you bring it back here. Still sealed. You can have 1/3.
How much gold will 1/3 be?
Whatever's inside.
Do I have to do this clean?
My friend, I don't care if it gets back to you or not, just as long as it doesn't get back to me.
Deal. I hold out my hand to shake.
Yep. Shakes your hand, and he hands you a small slip of paper with some information and what looks like some kind of something similar to like thieves' cant. It's a passage or bit of wording to gain access to that end of the docks there.
Okay.
So yeah, you make your way. It's literally just like a 10-minute walk through town.
I was going to ask potentially if Karin could join, as currently he is pacing through the bar, frustrated as he is actively contemplating how to proceed forward. He gets bored easily when he's not on a direct path, as he foresees that the path laid before him is his destiny. And when he strays from that path or needs help finding ways of getting on it, he gets frustrated. So he's like pacing, waiting for freaking Kilroy to make this money, as he's been kind of basically been told not to just take it. Because he kind of just like wants to just start a bar fight and rob everybody or whatever.
Well, funny enough you said that, because I was wondering how big of a distraction would be if a fight started.
I would say you go ahead and start that bar fight, buddy.
Oh.
I'm not telling you to, but I'm saying, go for it.
Well, I was going to offer, like, if I see Uridith, like, about to leave with purpose, if, like, he could potentially, like, come up and be like, "What you got?" But I can also start a bar fight at the same time.
What are you starting a bar fight for?
Distraction.
Who are we
he wouldn't
distracting?
do it for distraction. He
Oh,
would.
never mind.
Well,
I thought
use
we
it
were
as a
just
distraction.
distracted, so we could take the money.
Yeah, that's what we'd use it for, but we haven't communicated that to him. He's just gonna
Yeah.
get frustrated and start a fight out
I
of
mean,
nowhere.
you do
Exactly.
you.
He would be doing it out of frustration.
You do you, man.
But I'm debating if I should actually do that or not.
No, it sounds good. Because
Okay,
Silas doesn't
okay.
really have anything.
Anything going on?
Yeah.
Karin left his sword at the door. You didn't say anything about the sword having similar properties of what Silas's magic item does, in that I don't have to use it to wheel or to like beat people up, and then
No.
So I'm
No,
assuming
you're
that
not cursed in the same way he is.
Cool. And so I don't have to worry about like getting exhaustion from just beating people up. It's when I am actively like killing people or whatever with the sword is when I go into frenzy if somebody else kills them. Got it. So he's like pacing, getting frustrated. He might like see a cup on the table, like just anyone's cup, and like swipe it and start drinking from it. And possibly pissing somebody off, and in like some just like cascading snowball of events, he just like freaking decks somebody in the face.
Okay. So to Uridith, you have accepted your mission. You're wandering through town, and you get back to the main part of town there as you're walking through the other end of the docks, and you, in one quick motion, you see Karin, who, are you in the same bar as everyone else with Kilroy and...
Yes, I am.
Perfect. You guys all make this out too, as you are either resting at the table or Kilroy making your way up to the bar, as Karin, furiously pacing back and forth, You swipe somebody's mug, chug it, slam it down on the ground, or on the table, my bad. You literally just blind overarm throw it behind you, and it shatters against this half-orc's face. Quite a large male done up in leathers. Wipes himself off, slowly stands up. How's a nat 20 to hit you?
You're gonna have to higher low that.
4, 5.
Yurda's just gonna continue on and mutter, "Now I know the guards will be busy. I have an easy night."
8 bludgeoning damage as this perfectly thrown mug explodes against the side of your face, also spilling alcohol all over you. And it's no sooner that this makes contact and you're able to register what has happened, that you hear an eruption of yells and like shifting of chairs and breaking of things as the entire bar shifts into a fight.
Hell yeah. As like time slows and I just hear and see just this like sudden explosion of movement. Karin gets like this evil grin on his face as his eyes roll black and a flaming like halo begins to form above his head as he goes into a rage.
You need a rage to beat up a bunch of sailors.
Yes.
All right.
Oh God. Murder hobo.
Hey, he's been in jail. It's rusty.
Eurydice, how did you want to handle your mission?
Efficiently.
Efficiently. Okay.
I'm not going to kill anyone I don't need to, but if someone does decide to stand in my way, I have no problem beating them unconscious.
Sounds good. Are you trying to be stealthy at all?
No.
Fantastic.
I have like a +1 to stealth and roll with disadvantage. That's a great way to get myself in more trouble than just not stealthing.
They're just walking up and let me in. No. Boom. How about now? Okay, sounds good. Really quick, Kilroy, Silas, you just watched all of this unfold and you see Karin entering what looks to be some kind of like weird state. I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with Rage or not, as he sets about beating up all of the tavern folk. Reactions, and what are you doing?
Obviously, I like to think that I probably have noticed it because I've probably either fought or just seen it from the underground, but I'm going to go for the money. If there's a nice little pile on our table.
Roll me a d10.
10.
Cool. You snatch up 1,000 gold.
Fuck yeah!
Between different purses and loose piles there, you literally just start sweeping it all into respective bags there, or your bag. But several of the members of the table turn around to see you doing this. Kilroy?
Yeah, I mean, I was literally getting up to get some drinks, but seeing people abandoning their drinks to like jump in on this fight, I'll just instead of trying to like minor illusion my way into getting free drinks from the barmaid or bar person, I will instead just like swipe up like a few like mugs and like put them on like a tray that I probably found somewhere, and I'll just turn around and start like coming back towards the table. And it's kind of like that meme from Community. I think it's Community, where he walks in with the pizza and the room's on fire.
Oh, and everything's on fire, yeah.
Yeah, kind of like that. Like seeing Em grabbing the gold and seeing her get noticed, and I'm just like, oh shit.
Silas?
Silas was going to do the same thing Em is doing, but seeing the haul that she got, he's going to
add on top of it, obviously.
Yeah. Not himself, though. He's going to have Jeeves scrounge around on the floor and in people's pockets, nearby, for anything he can grab.
Sounds good. I'm going to say 1d4 for that. Kilroy, are you going to jump in and help, or are you going to run? Em, what are you going to do? I'm going to say, yeah, three men all noticed you taking their gold.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the second time I've seen Em get herself in trouble today.
Use the cloak.
Yeah, shut up. I know. I'm just waiting for people to stop talking.
Oh, sorry.
No,
Go
you're
ahead.
fine. John's like, the cloak. I know, bitch. I know.
Use the cloak.
Now, gentlemen, it was lovely playing with you guys, but I do have to go, so I gotta skedaddle. But it was nice meeting everyone, and I'm just gonna slip the cloak on and go invisible.
Sounds good. Can you roll me a d6?
1.
Perfect. Yeah, you slide the cloak on and you disappear to everyone else. You slip into a kind of a shaded reality version of everything going on. You make out all of the bodies in the bar in front of you fighting, but they kind of seem more like whispers of like smoke instead of actual solid figures.
Mm-hmm.
And where do you run to?
I'm a run outside. Right? Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a
You just
bolt for outside.
Okay.
Oh, I guess no one else can find me though. Can I can't touch people, can I?
No.
Okay, yeah. I'm just gonna bolt for outside the bar.
Okay. Yeah, you slip in between all the crowd and just run outside and find a corner on the street to hide on.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Kilroy Silas, you just saw her disappear into nothing, and now all of these guys are standing around the table pissed as they're looking at each other in bewilderment, and their eyes lock with yours. Hi, where's your friend go?
Do they know that we're all together?
You guys walked up together.
Oh, that's true, probably. Oh, sorry, you guys.
All right, everybody. Let's just calm down. Let's enjoy the fight. I mean, this is how often do you see a raging psychopath jump into a big old fight in the middle of a bar? Oh, if I had a nickel.
Oh my gosh, Josh, just start your
And I'm gonna
crack
need-
me up.
And I'm gonna need a wisdom saving throw from these fine gentlemen.
I have a nat 20, a 14, and a 9.
2 of them fail,
Okay.
as they have had fear cast in a 30-foot cone.
All right. Okay. So yeah, you just cast what does that look like? How do you cast fear into them? Do they kind of see something, or is it just dread washing over them? Or
I like to actually think my corporeal shadow dude is creeping up behind them and whispering in their ear their most their heart's biggest fear,
okay.
and doing some psychological torment to them a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, so after you cast this and it kind of washes over them, you see 2 of them. They're just, their faces go white and overcome with dread. They just book it away from you as fast as possible. But one guy is left there, hand on his hilt, but he still hasn't drawn a sword or anything. Just kind of, again, left in bewilderment, and his buddies just abandoning him.
Now look, there's a lot more of us than there are of you, my friend. I think we should just sit down and enjoy the fight. I'm sure that young lady will come back and we'll fix all this. Lickety split, no problem.
You should
No
offer to
problem
start
at
making
all.
bets on the fight. See, point out people in the crowd and be like, how long do you think before they get knocked out or something like that? You don't have to.
Again,
that's-
just kind of...
So now I'm trying to appeal to him to maybe think of the odds and not try and fight what he thinks are at least 2 people
Yeah.
who are together.
No, he literally just starts swearing. He kicks over the chair in front of him as he's muttering to himself, and he grabs a tankard off the nearby table and wanders out of the bar into the street. You can hear him cursing you guys as he heads out. But yeah, he's not interested.
Yeah.
Karin,
Yes.
athletics, acrobatics, and a constitution saving throw.
20 for athletics, 8 for acrobatics, 15 for con.
Fantastic. Yeah, so after you rage, you become solely focused on just taking out these patrons all around you. Are you killing them?
I'm not holding back. So if people die, that is a consequence I'm willing to deal with.
Awesome. So can you roll me a d6?
2.
You have either incapacitated or killed 2 people in this fight so far. After instigating this fight, you have just run around. Bodies are being thrown around in between people. You're picking a few up, punching them down. Chairs are being swung. At one point, several people grabbed you and threw you down onto a table, which broke underneath your weight. And you have taken, what did I roll? 10 bludgeoning damage.
Boom. I want it noted that this entire time he has been either madly grinning or have had little fits of like maniacal laughter as he is beyond like instinctual enjoyment.
Yeah, you guys take in the scene as Karan is being thrown around, beating the crap out of people, just kind of taking it with a smile on his face. Eurydice, you have made your way past this scene. You can still hear it in the distance, all the shouting and the breaking of stuff. But it still becomes, fairly distant as you make your way out, and you get to the end of the dock where you see several, not small ships, but smaller for some of the vessels that are docked here. But funny enough, they're the only ones guarded in this manner. The end of the port has a kind of fence that goes out into the water to kind of seclude the area, and the gateway has 2 guards standing in front of it.
Okay. And my note that has details on a phrase that I can use to get past the guards, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm going to approach them and use the phrase,
Cool. What is it?
"Shadows be with you."
Indeed, may the night stay round forever. And they both kind of just split, let you walk by really quick. And yeah, it's a nice, quiet on this end of the dock. There's literally no other bodies around. And you see this small, dark ship on the end, detailed in your little note. You make your way in. You make your way through. You kind of toss the ship around for a minute. But right down there in the, hidden in the back of what looks like the crew quarters is a small black chest sealed with a large lock.
All right. I'm going to slide it into my bag of holding, if that's possible.
Should be.
All right. Then I'll go ahead and do that, and I will leave.
Fantastic. Yeah, you make your way out. No hassles. You approach the guard gate. You get through it. No notice, no mind, no nothing. And it's a few steps after that, one of them calls out really quick. Oi! What were you doing in there anyway?
I ignore him and keep walking.
It's your lucky day. Apparently they don't care enough.
Oh, nice. I had a whole intimidation plan after that, so...
Yeah, again, you hear him just kind of mutter as you walk away. As you make your way back down the docks there to the other end of town to meet your new friend, you can see the fights are still raging on. In fact, they've begun to spill into other taverns as some of the patrons are thrown from one building into the street, and they just kind of make their way into the next building.
It's a different kind of fire. We're burning the town down.
I love this. I love the chaos.
I want Karan to be at the center of it all.
You are? Yeah.
Sweet.
And so, yeah, you meet your man at the end of at the docks there, and he sees you. Well, that was, rather quick, wasn't it?
I pride myself in my efficiency. I'm going to pull the chest out and, still holding it, but hold it out. My payment?
That's quite the nifty bag there, isn't it? Suppose you'd be willing to part with that, too.
No.
Very well, very well. Let's take a look here. And from behind him, he seemingly, makes a key appear. You have no idea where he was keeping it. And he pops it open. Roll me a d10.
6.
Awesome. So as he pops it open, you make out the equivalent of 6,000 worth in gold, few jewels, and assorted trinkets in there. He takes a minute, stares at it, and then he literally just takes out a small pouch, scoops up a bunch, and dumps it into it, ties it up neatly. Trade your share for your end of the job here.
It looks about right to me.
Yes.
Cool. So 2,000 goldaroonies. And I hand over the chest without an issue.
Pleasure doing business with you. Come back anytime.
You'll never see me again, but it has been tolerable doing business with you.
Awesome. What do you do?
I am going to go return to the bar and kind of ignoring Karan here. I'm going to try to find Kilroy M or Silas.
I will say M sees you walking through town if she wants to make an attempt to have you notice her, she can. Otherwise, she's hidden.
Yeah. I'd do that. I'd try to get his attention if I see him walking outside.
All right, what do you do?
Am I still invisible or did I take it off?
Your call. If you're still invisible, I need you to roll me another d6.
No, I'm gonna take it off. Because I'll just be hiding in the shadows. In the corner. I'll just call out to him. Like anyone knows.
Hey kid, you want some candy?
I do not partake in sweets.
Yeah, I'll just like call him over, be like, Eurydice, hey, over here.
I'm glad I found you. Have you been successful?
Yeah, I got 1,000 gold. What about you?
I have an amount I will not disclose to you.
Okay. But enough?
It is enough for me and passage on the airship.
And what about everyone else?
I imagined everyone else was procuring their own gold.
I mean,
Is that not the case?
I don't think so, honestly. I don't think everyone has that.
I cannot work with people who are not self-sufficient.
Yeah, but see, we have to get on the ship together as one, otherwise we will fail this mission.
Wrong. Otherwise, they will fail at this mission.
No, and us too. You do know how this contract works, correct? These bracelets?
No one has taken the time to explain it to me. I know that I owe a debt to this man named Vasaad.
Oh God.
That is all I know.
Oh God. Okay. Em's gonna just point to the silver cup and be like, this is bad. If we don't do this right, they will kill us essentially. Using this, fancy cuff bracelet thing.
Failure is worse than death in my eyes, so I accept it.
Yes, therefore we all together have to go back to the person that owns these. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. I then wonder why you have allowed the violent one to be violent in the tavern.
You know,
He's drawing unwanted attention to us.
As far as I know, he's your friend, not mine.
We are acquaintances. We are friendly, but we are not friends. Our beliefs do not align.
Oh. Well, why don't you go grab your acquaintance and bring him out so we can get going?
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna march into the bar then, and I'm gonna locate Karan. And what is currently going on with that situation?
Yes, please.
I like that Em's just chilling in the shadows waiting, like, nah, nah, nah.
Will you acrobatics, athletics, and we'll say a strength saving throw?
Ooh, I have advantage on that one. So 14 on the strength save, 11 for acrobatics, and 25 for athletics.
Okay. Roll me another d6.
3.
You have taken down 3 more guys. One of those being as someone tried to grapple you into the ground, you simply threw them off of you and over the bar, where they did the classic crashing into all of the bottles lined on the wall before the shelves came down on top of them. But you failed the other 2 rolls, so you take another 10 bludgeoning damage.
Which is 5 bludgeoning damage because I am raging.
And one of those rolls is the strength saving throw, as an entire crowd of people
Dogpile me.
Eurydice, as you are walking up to the bar where Karan is, you are met with him as he is thrown from the tavern through one of the already broken windows.
Oh, perfect. So I'm going to catch him with my left arm
Okay.
and sort of like hold him in like the like bad guys got the hostage thing. And I'm going to draw my sword with my right arm and I'm going to scream, "Back off!"
Oh, back off to me?
No, back off to anyone who's trying to pursue you.
Okay. You aren't met with anybody. They just threw him out of the bar and they went back to their business. They're still fighting. Yeah.
Punching each other.
Then I'm going to drop Karan to the ground.
Okay.
And sheathe my
how long
sword.
has it been?
And what's that?
How long has it been?
20-ish minutes.
As I come flying out the window and fall to the ground, Karan does like that, like half stance where he's like on the ground about to like spring up and go. And as he's like mid, like roaring up to go, his eyes kind of like roll back to normal, and he like lets out that long like he'd been holding his breath, so he like lets it all out and has like calm or like I guess, sanity rolls over, and he like slowly gets up. The halo dissipates, and he like cracks his neck and like readjusts his shoulders as like all the tension just kind of washes out. And he's like, Uridith, where have you been? As if like nothing happened.
Well, you were in there enjoying yourself. I was out there working.
Silas is gonna come, unless you guys done, or
They're all standing in the middle of the street.
Yeah, we're just kind of standing in the
Silas
street.
is gonna come walking out, slowly clapping, be like, fantastic show, good boy. It'll be wonderful traveling, entertainment on demand.
Yes, well, when the path of my destiny becomes unclear, things break.
Then you should open your mind. Your God is always speaking to you. You're just not listening.
Kilroy?
Oh, I just start whistling on my way out the door, like.
Cool. Yeah, you
Like nothing
you
happened.
just casually make your way out the door. You see your compatriots here all gathered in the street, just off to the side from you.
In response to Uridith, Karin says, "My lady Zariel does not dictate my path. She only holds my soul for when the time is right for me to join her. My path is my own, and the path to become great is my destiny."
You're a slave, nothing more.
A willful one, with purpose. I am not controlled, however.
You guys are sitting there, kind of bickering about your gods, your devils, your whatevers. As both Kilroy and M kind of walk up on you and join you, as you guys are standing in the middle of the street here, and you can visibly see as time passes, as your fight continues to spread from bar to bar. You watch as the chaos kind of takes over the town, more breaking, spilling into the streets. And that's actually where we're going to cut it for the day, guys.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Are We Dead Yet? Intro and outro music by Dave Cole of the Four Orbs podcast. Our intro was a custom commission by Dave Cole, and the outro is The Cliff by Dave Cole. Find more of his work on YouTube by searching for D. Cole Music. That's DCOLEMUSIC on YouTube. Background music tracks include Barroom Brawl by Sword Coast Soundscapes, used under an attribution license from Creative Commons. Find them on YouTube by searching for Sword Coast Soundscapes. Background music Castle Jail by tabletopaudio.com, used under an attribution, non-commercial 4.0 license from Creative Commons. Background tracks Blood-Soaked Plains, Nighttime Medieval City, Medieval Nighttime Docks, and Fantasy Tavern by Plate Mail Games, used under license purchased through Drive-Thru RPG. Sound effects from freesound.org under a public domain dedication. Additional sound effects used under license purchased through Humble Bundle. We'll be back on the 1st with our next episode. Bye!